8 p.m. here in Cairo. Time to start our English transmission. We started with Panorama News. My name is Amal Mukhtar. I have all the pleasure to be joined with my dear colleague Basma Taha. Hello, Basma.
Thank you so much, Amal. And the viewers, starting off with the main headlines of the day. President Sisi and Erdogan hold talks in Cairo and attend second high-level strategic council meeting and Egyptian-Turkish business forum. Up to 23 Palestinians, including women and children, are killed in Israeli air attacks on Gaza. And gunmen kill at least 170 people in Nigeria's Kwara state.
Welcome back. The news in detail. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and First Lady Mrs. Intisar al-Sisi welcomed the Turkish counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan and First Lady at Al-Ittihadiyya Presidential Palace on Wednesday. The two presidents held formal talks that concerned on the bilateral ties and regional issues of mutual concern. At a joint press conference following the talks, President al-Sisi said that Egypt continues to play a key role in achieving stability, peace and development in the Middle East and Africa. The head of state affirmed that Egypt has been a forefront of diplomatic efforts to contain conflicts and support political solutions. On Gaza, President al-Sisi said Egypt has worked actively to de-escalate tensions in the Strip, facilitate humanitarian aid and support ceasefire agreement in coordination with regional and international partners. While on Libya, President Sisi reiterated that Egypt supported national reconciliation, political unity and rebuilding of state institutions. Regarding Sudan, the head of state stressed the significance of dialogue, national unity and humanitarian assistance, calling for a peaceful resolution that preserves Sudan's stability and sovereignty. For his part, Turkish President Erdogan said that the Palestinian file is on top of issues of discussions, with President Sisi noting that Cairo and Ankara are working together in an initiative to make peace in Gaza possible. The Turkish president also described Egypt as his country's largest trade partner in Africa, highlighting the progress towards achieving the volume of trade exchange to reach $15 billion, up from $8 billion. Later, the two leaders attended the signing ceremony of a number of agreements and memos of understanding in various fields. The two leaders also signed a joint declaration after holding the high-level strategic council's meeting between the two countries in Cairo.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and his Turkish counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan attended the Egyptian-Turkish Business Forum. Addressing the forum, President Sisi said that Egypt and Turkey are keen to enhance peace and mutual cooperation in various domains of cooperation. The head of state welcomed Turkish investments in fields of petrochemicals and also medical industries in Egypt. President Sisi said that economic reform policies adopted by the state had led to positive indices being witnessed by Egyptian economy. In his speech, President Erdogan said that Egypt and Turkey enjoy close bilateral, strategic and also economic ties. The Turkish leader noted that Ankara has great potentials in increasing economic cooperation with Egypt in many aspects. The Turkish president said the two sides discussed collaboration between two business communities. He added that his country aims to achieve tangible development in cooperation with Egypt in the agricultural fields. On the political front, Erdogan reiterated that Egypt and Turkey are cornerstone for peace and stability in Middle East region.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Badr Abdulati and Mr. Jonathan Powell, the British National Security Advisor, exchanged views regarding regional issues over a phone call on Wednesday. The call have tackled the recent developments in Iran, with Minister Abdulati stressing the significance of de-escalation to avoid all types of conflicts and instability. It also centered on the latest developments in Palestine, with both sides calling of the international community to shoulder its responsibility to ensure the implementation of the second phase of U.S. President Donald Trump's peace plan. This paves the way for the early recovery and reconstruction of Gaza and ensures unhindered humanitarian aid flow. The two sides reviewed Sudan's situation, emphasizing Egypt's stances supporting Sudan's sovereignty, unity and territorial integrity.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Badr Abdulati received a phone call from Italy's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs Antonio Tajani. The call tackled ways to strengthen bilateral relations between the two friendly countries and the latest developments regarding the Iranian nuclear issue. Minister Abdulati hailed the distinguished relations between the two friendly countries during the call, emphasizing the commitment to enhancing all aspects of bilateral relations and elevating them to broader horizons. The top diplomat expressed his willingness to continue boosting economic and also investment relations with Italy and to further trade exchange between the two countries, in addition to strengthening cooperation in the field of renewable energy. The two sides also exchanged views on the accelerating developments related to Iran, as ministers stressed the priority that Egypt gives to de-escalation by strengthening the political and also diplomatic path.
Supreme Constitutional Court will hold a press conference on Thursday to announce details of holding the 9th conference of the heads of African Constitutional Supreme Court's Constitutional Council in Cairo. The two-day conference will be held in the new capital on Saturday and is expected to bring together Chief Justice, constitutional judges and diplomatic representatives. The conference is slated to focus on Egypt's role in promoting judicial dialogue, strengthening constitutional governance and enhancing the rule of law. It is aimed at reviewing sustained efforts within Egypt's judiciary community to promote judicial independence, protect civilians' constitutional rights and modernize legal frameworks in line with international standards.
For the third consecutive day, Gaza-Rafah border crossing was open on Wednesday for Palestinians wishing to return from Egypt to the Palestinian enclave under an October ceasefire deal. A third batch of returnees have arrived at the Egyptian side of the crossing, waiting to enter Gaza through the Rafah gate after its reopening on Monday for the first time in almost a year. On the Palestinian side, Palestinian officials said that Israel halted the passage of patients through the Rafah border crossing. About 20,000 Palestinians are in need of medical care that is unavailable in Gaza after 2 years of Israeli war. A bus with about 40 Palestinians that enter Gaza via Rafah arrived at Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis early on Wednesday, where their families welcomed them after spending the entire day waiting. Though hailed as a step forward for the fragile ceasefire struck in October, it took more than 10 hours for only about a dozen returnees and a small group of medical evacuees to cross in each direction on the first day Rafah reopened.